I guess I'm in the right neighborhood, hanging out with the likes of you here today, eh? As we get more and more of this Coyote Medicine Show underway. Wow! I tell you, this is one of those Ann Howe sort of days. This here free-for-all Friday, man. And we've been having a free-for-all musically and otherwise. Oh, yeah, babies. No big surprise. We started the day with Martin Luther King to help us get it underway with his I Had a Dream. Oh, babies. And that kind of dream fulfills the scheme of right now. Don't be distracted then by what's going on outside. It's getting pretty wild, and it's bound to get a little wilder yet. Stay steady and centered in that calm eye of the storm place that you be in right now. Hold your space, even if you have to go out there and work with the police that are deadly, etc., or the other side or whatever, man. Hold your space. Be steady in your heart in the dream you want to fulfill, the dream that you're dreaming right now. And that brings forward the Ann Howe. I tell you what, babies, you may not believe it, but just like Dorothy she had no idea what she's doing trying to save her friend, the little scarecrow guy, you know, and dumped that water accidentally right over that old witch, which turned out to be no accident at all. She hadn't bathed in 10 million years, man. No wonder she stunk so bad. Ooh, that's bad, baby. No one wanted to be around her. That's what made her the Wicked Witch in the first place. She didn't understand all she had to do was melt down. Then she'd come around, man. She's probably coming back like a heart attack jack right now. Going to be somebody like, you know, some big movie star, you know, a movie queen now, man. No more of the ugly scene for her, baby. She's seen enough of that. Well, that's humanity. And little Dorothy just dumped a bucket of water on us, and all of our drama, all of our trauma, all of the divine bullshit that went with it, melting like a beautiful frame of wickedness down into just a little puddle of water, man. And a little bit of vapor, a little bit of steam going away. Put out the fire of hate, wouldn't you say? See, if we're undivided inside, we're undivided outside. Even Bubba knows the way, you know, today. So don't believe this Texas bullshit. Now, these are opinions, but don't believe this Texas bullshit. Those are paid assassins going to work there, babies, you know. It's obvious. I mean, Dallas is well known for that now, aren't they? Yeah. See, don't be set up by the chicanery, the evil in another, you know, which is really the aggravation of our own heart backfiring on us. Because if we're holding on to disappointment with life in any way, we're feeding that shit today. And so it falls on us to be done with it. That's how you deal with it in the outer way, by going inside and seeing what's taking you for that ride. Why we have so much conflict out there. Because we got a little conflict in here. It might just be a tiny bit. Who don't give a shit? Time to let it go. Be resolved in it, don't you know? And how do you do that? See through the illusion of the fiery flame. That which destroys. That which dissolves away. Logs, houses, furniture, color TVs. I mean, you know, could even eat up a UFO every now and then. Fire, fire, fire. Yet it makes your coffee, keeps your bed warm, your house warm, etc., you know. Fire, fire, fire. Fire is the separateness of our warmth from ourself, an outer projection of our inward creativity given in the divine heart of the mother love. Obi-Wan Kenobi says, for the love of dog, be nice to one another, please. Huh? Just like us dogs are, huh, buddy? Come here. What are you barking at out there, huh? You got to get it clear, dear, man. You got to stay tuned in here, Mr. Okie. Yeah. We got to get it, out of Muskogee and back to San Francisco, too. Way back in the way back when the light was on. Still is, baby. See, San Francisco's dissolved into a slime pit of uneconomic reality, a little warfare, and so forth, don't you see? Yet, it's still the city by the bay. It's still the beauty and wonder of life. It's still freedom and liberation. It holds those energies from back in the day, the 60s, wouldn't you say? Because it was the first, man, and it was not the worst. It was the best. Bursting forward like the divine light of love, the innocent children gathering. Oh, yeah, I'm being fed upon by a few old vultures here and there. You know, kind of went with the turf back in those days. But babies, we gave birth to something that's still birthing out right now. And you can thank San Francisco for that. So unlike New York City, which is going to dissolve away and no longer be, San Francisco rises like the sunshine and becomes yet another little extension of the gleaming city of light. Yeah, you got that right. We have our illusions in the flame. Remember, we were looking through the campfire, and across the campfire from us appeared ourselves in a Jindaric sort of way, as if half of us had gone away. And up inside of us rose this howl we can't even explain as we stared through the illusion of that flame and imagined ourselves to be something other than all together, don't you see? And way out there was the unreality, and here is the reality. The truth, before we began to feel separate, before we let our fire externalize itself as a flame, the flame of fire, which then polarized the reality. We stepped right in through that illusion of flame, staring into that fire and believing it, not seeing that the flame didn't touch anything, never does. The flame is the illusion, the fire that goes with it. Again we say, yeah, right up to and including nuclear bombs and scalar weaponry and all the chicanery that goes with polarity. Go back to your heart, back to your original moment. See that child that is fully grown and perfect in every right, sitting in the fire of that camp light? Heck no, the light's coming from inside of you, not from the fire. We don't need a fire. The circle is the love, the family. The fire then becomes the heart. It flames forever without flame, without fire. Brilliant, direct, bright light, the golden purity of the golden heart. Yeah, you got that right, see? And when you can treat yourself directly like that, remember that moment and live in it. You've got all that you deserve here, which is total and complete freedom. On a free-for-all Friday, wouldn't you say? Yes, indeedy. So for the love of dog, look at the backwards reality and let it rectify itself. See it as the upside-down world that it is, so it will right itself. Finish this job of getting right side up. And you will see amazing and miraculous miracles right before your very eyes, the same as you're feeling right now inside. The more we can unite, the more we can give up the fright, the fear that says, oh my God, they're taking over here. Then the higher you fly. For the lightness is in the flame of the heart. The light that comes from inside. That dissolves away the illusion even of a separate sun. Yeah. It's all gathered in one. You, me, Obi-Wan Kenobi, all the rest that you see shines with the brilliance of the light. And we no longer need then the transformative flame of separation, of breaking it down again and again and putting it through its seasons and cycles. We've done enough of that now in the and how, haven't we? Don't you feel that in your heart and soul? That ancient tiredness that says, man, we've dreamed it this way too long. Enough. Enough. See, that began in the 60s. Enough. Enough. The reincarnated hippies from World War II, let me tell you, and they might not have died hippies, but they were born naturally hippies. Happy, intelligent people pursuing infinite enlightenment. And not everybody in our generation was such, but a lot of us were and are reincarnated souls from the horror of death in World War II. That's why there was a blossom of light in the 60s as we started coming of age, man. Yeah, see? And began to realize, innocently so, the power of love. And tried to put it in motion as best we could. Our music embodied it, our heart embodied it, our movement embodied it. Hell, even the media went along for a while. Of course, the CIA thought they were dumbing us down and putting us away. But they're always working around in the background, aren't they? That silly little CIA or whatever else they might be called, because they got an NSA. They got all them 3 letters and 4 letters and, all these dumb titles. And impositions on the people. But this is how we dissolve their treachery. We just see what they've done for us. We appreciate the gifts they gave us in Mary J. and other hallucinogens. Seeking to take us away, they brought us back to our heart, to a real life we were living, at least for a while, at least in partiality. And the energy of that comes out right now in the blossoming flower of life, the love that we are, that won't accept the nightmare aspects of the dream anymore. Enough is enough, the dead are living. Try and shoot that out of your way now. It can't be done. I don't care who you are. When you live within the sun, the separation is over. Rover, and you won't be doing that again, see? So allow yourself to be then this heart that we are, each one of us, gathered at the center of love. I mean the very tree of life, given motion and emotion. And love that is free to express itself in creation how it will be, in all of our varied variety. And let go of the mourning that I feel out there today. You know, honor those that have given the ultimate sacrifice of their life, that others might be saved. You know, when these kind of deaths are exposed, then lives are saved, because the next time they won't think so quickly of pulling the trigger. Even if things stayed exactly the same as they are, just a change in attitude would affect it that much. The exposure. We're moving into an age where true things are coming into being, and the old false illusion is dissolving away. Some call it the age of truth, the age of revelation. Revealing is what it is. Revealing truth that is always laid there in the background. Now becomes the foreground. The heat of the day becomes immaterial. The weather, well, all we have now is like what we desire. No one can control it or contain it. No matter how much crap they've been spraying in the air, that's all neutralized. There is no toxicity anywhere. When we give death to the flame, we give birth to life, the flaming heart of love, which is passion, caring, fueled of caring and gratitude, gracious gratitude, caring. That's the word of a free day Friday, and a free-for-all Friday too, because it is a free-for-all when you start to live this way. It means first and foremost you care for yourself and your own space and what's good and healthy for you, and you start to refine your definitions of it, because the heart does that for you. And you resolve not to be living, you know, however you've been. It ain't going to be that way now, because you just changed it all. See, you neutralize the polarity in a sense, but in so doing, you give rise to the greatest feeling there could ever be. The birth of the divine baby child inside, the one that's come to take this right and be the right in innocent, loving ways that can't be co-opted or corrupted in any way. And the world of money, of trade, of power, dissolves away in the power of love. Right here, right now, on this day, because the flame's inside, dissolving away all the illusion. The more you catch on, the more it will be in the reality around you. And I'm telling you, babies, you know, New York City will dissolve away. I don't know what's going to happen to D.C., but it won't be there to play anymore. It's over with. The whole damn thing, the divine nightmare. I mean, it was a noble dream, an elegant one that our founding fathers gave us as we came to rape the land. But we were co-opted then by the indigenous way of the heart, now weren't we? Like it or not. It was irrefusable. So though you tried to put it out, you know, bomb it out and poison it out and kill it off in a lot of different ways, you couldn't kill the movement that drew you here, now could you? And I'm talking to my own ancestors, and through them too. For they knew the divine way, what little speck of it they could see in that day. See, these were worse than cavemen, these ancestors of ours that began this dream here. And yeah, they picked it up from the indigenous along the way. I mean, it's purely Iroquois. The concept of this constitutional government that we set up here, blah, blah, blah. But the reality, the truth was, Mother Earth needed to gather all of her children back to their place of birth. So in a nightmarish way, the dream resolved to be that. And people, those that have lived to see this, now get not only the respect of the ancestors for their sacrifice, however that it's been, to be cruel like that as well as to be a victim of that cruelty is equally terrifying and destructive to the soul and the heart, in a sense. But it also destroys illusions by living through them. Flame, the fire, which has always given us so much trouble, because it's always seeking to break things down to basic elements. It doesn't like life. It likes to burn it away and renew it. So we allow a kind of renewal inside, a feeling of unity, of togetherness with even what we saw as our darker parts. A letting go of fear and the respect we've held for pain. Because there is no pain when you're separated no more by the flame, but filled by the warmth that is the fire of the heart. And in that warmth begin dreaming a whole new way, which is the same way we've been doing all along, he says, trying to sing it as a song, almost. Don't give up the ghost now. Hang on to your heart. It'll take your breath away at times, but boy, when it gives it back, you'll have a breath that will never go away. Each one like the first one, and deeply appreciated in the same way. Today is freedom. And not just from the workaday world, but from everything that we ever created here in that abject sort of way to torture ourselves in some way and cause sacrifice to be the rule of the day. And always it's given. Hell, if you were the god of fodder for a while, guess what? That's pure hell. It takes a very, very strong heart to endure such darkness. Now imagine the papacy, etc. I mean, you know, wow. What a journey it's been, hasn't it, folk? Brothers and sisters, grandchildren, of which I am a grandchild too. We're all our own grandchildren in a way, because we are the ancestors. Yes, indeed. That was one aspect. This is today. This is now. Different aspect. This is the full presence coming forward. When in the past, believe it or not, for all of the spectacular lives we've lived, could only be a shadow of what we're here, truthfully here to give. We had to shimmer it in a little bit here, a little bit there, and little specks and, you know, little firecracker pops. We just had to do it little here, little there, and just grease it back into its natural state of being. So then a bunch of us could sit down by this campfire and see through it. And see ourselves not separated, but gathered in the beauty of that genderization. And not separate from life at all. There is no destructive flame. There is no destroyer. No hate. No emptiness. For in this moment, the fire dissolves into each one of us. As we resolve our heart in the ancient flame of separation, give up the dream of polarity, and come back to life. It's a moment as significant as any death or birth could ever be. It's the same moment, replicating itself through time in what we call history, but now unraveling that mystery. We see the poetry in motion, the synchronicity, the divine love, the way the waves have always taken us. And we see past then the illusions of hatred, which cause such murdering and maiming to go on here. We see past even the death that's created. We see past the coldness of heart that lusts for death. In others, of course, that it might feel life within itself. We understand that state of being, and we release it from ourselves now. There are no enemies. There's only friends. There's only those that are here to help us along the way, however much they might be acting in this play. Each one of us in service to each other, each and every moment that we breathe and live. It doesn't stop. It just takes a hop in perception. You know, back in 2006, a few of us gathered there on the shiny shores of Lake Dallas in July of all times of the year, 104, 106 in the shade, man. Hot as hell, man. But there on those little beaches, we gave birth to a peaceful attitude of gratitude in the Dallas sort of way. And you'll see amazing things happen in Dallas because of that day, because we did it in 2006, just by gathering together a few simple and beautiful hearts that really just wanted to see peace in this world and in this life, especially in a hellhole like Dallas, which has been so dominated by the evil darkness, the economics and the unfairness therein, etc., let alone, well, the assassination of presidents. That stigma stuck with that place. That's why they think they can go and do their assassinating some more. They got away with it once. Why not just start killing people now? Shit. Let's see, the peace lovers are there. We gathered around a campfire then of a sort, bright shiny sun, and let it dissolve into each and every one. And now the day of death and darkness is done. A few humble souls have that power. Think of your moments now, where the same thing has transpired. Maybe not in the same time frame, but baby, it's always in the same moment. These moments are created of now. This moment right now. Past, present, futures, all right here. See, we can make it anything we want, because that's what it's been, dear. You're just starting to see it clear now. You're starting to understand the flow and of how this medicine works in such a coyote way. Very tricky. You know, it seems like the exact opposite of what's really happening is happening here, you know. Again, the upside down world where most everything, not everything, but most everything is 180 degrees from what's real. The one thing that's real here is the love that we carry inside of us. No matter how many torments we've had to put up with and how many lives. We did so lovingly, just like we do right now. And that kind of purifies all of the experience and even lets go of the shame of feeling separate from ourselves. See, we burdened ourselves heavily. That's where gravity came from. Well, this is where it lightens up, baby. I mean, you can still stick around if you want to, but you have the choice now. It's in your heart. You see, you can be light as a feather and be, you know, drawn right back into the atmosphere and be the ethers if you want to, but still resolved in a human way. You're rooted here. You see? That's what we came to see here. The strength, the durability of the heart, which is the seed of life from which all things now blossom and grow in the most peaceful sort of way. And it wasn't just 2006, and it wasn't just the 60s in San Francisco. It's a flow that's gone out throughout all of this time we call history. But in this moment of now, we see it for what it really is, and how we've all brought it into being by seeing and feeling what we do right now. Just let your mind expand into the heart's way. Get the rigidity out of the way. Anything that sticks, fear, pain, indifference of any sort, emptiness is filled now. The full presence of being is real now. There in your rooted heart, inside the center of this tiny little carcass we call humane, that's where we gain, that's where we begin. And that rooted into the earth, which is the sun, and rooted in the sky, which is the sun too. And we the juncture that shines, draws it all together inside of us, in other words, and becomes the perfection of creation, the perfect moment, given in the expression of our human form. Oh, and of course all the auric field that surrounds us, it's called creation. Can you feel it now, babies? You catching on? I thought maybe so, man. God, I'm sure a pleasure to have you here on the Koyote Medicine Show. Babies, I love you. I may have to bail a little bit early here. I'll let you know here in just a minute, but wow. What a beautiful day we got underway. A free-for-all Friday, babies. Stick with me and I'll stick with you. How about that? We're stuck like glue, okay? And I'll be here till 10 o'clock anyway. I got plenty of time. Let's not whine, let's just glow. We'll just keep it rocking, don't you know? Here on the Hazy Radio Network, the peaceful old soul, the very essence of your divine heart. Sitting here, standing here, being here with my little dog too, Obi-Wan Kenobi. Oh, babies. Melting away the wicked witch with water The water of life, the water of love, the cleansing, refreshing bath we haven't taken for so long we forgot that we could. Welcome back to the neighborhood. The neighborhood of the heart, man, you little gangster. I love your style. Clink, clink, clink all the way around, baby. Ooh, we'll have some more after a while here in this Coyote Medicine Show. Baby, we love you so. Rely on your heart forever, okay? That's the way. Ah. I can feel you inside now, baby. I got you on that last sip. Hey, if you haven't got your sip underway, get yourself over to the coyoteclub.com and get some coffee mugs, some souvenir coffee mugs hand imprinted by Grandpa along the way, man. It's one way you can help us out here on the broadcast. There's lots of ways. You know, well, you're helping us mostly just by being here today, right now, and how. But don't forget, too, that coming up in August 12th through 14th, the Creststone Music Festival, international in its style and flair and flavor. A 3-day camp out under the stars with the stars of love. Soul music, folk music, bluegrass, rock and roll. I mean, you got a lineup that's just, ooh, raise you up heart and soul, besides a whole bunch of glorious little heart-loving campers out there saying, wow, this is the Ann Howell moment. I think it's all coming together there as well as here right now, don't you? So if you haven't got your tickets yet, get over there and get your reservations at thecoyoteclub.com, coyotes with a K, clubs with a K, and click on the sponsors page. And there's a little click through there or a phone number. Either way, you can get your reservation, get your tickets on. And babies, you'll be here because you're here already, right? Lots of new starts going on now. Creststone Music Festival's going to be another, babies. August 12th through 14th, Creststone, Colorado, and Grandpa will be there all 3 days right along with you, rocking down like the old hound that he is. Okie too, he just can't miss it. He loves festivals and music and people and dogs and kids and, you know, just about everything, man, you know, but don't push him, okay? He can be cantankerous in his own way. Well, so can you, baby. But here we are flowing on through even that cantankerous way. And come out of it quite brightly, wouldn't you say? Yes, indeedy. This is the day. A free-for-all Friday on the Coyote Medicine Show. Where else but your exclusive heart, the Hazy Radio Network. Want to get it clear? Tune in here, dear. hazyradio.com. Got it on 24/7, babies. Especially in the morning when Grandpa's here. Whoa! I mean, whoa! Yeah! There we go.